In a kitchen this hot, you need a lot of workers.
We're running around the 45 to 50 mark and we'll go into the hundreds.
At the peak of last summer, this hotel in Victoria's beachside Sorrento housed staff in caravans, refurbished sheds and even a school camp.
It's almost impossible to get appropriate housing. They were basically sleeping on camp beds just so we could have enough bodies to operate the place.
Finding accommodation for workers is a nationwide problem, felt most acutely in remote and regional areas. Hundreds of kilometres away in Mount Hotham, employers face the same issue.
There's a real tension always, so obviously we need people here to run the resort, to make the coffees, run the lifts, groom the trails, all the stuff that comes with that, but also, if they're in a bed, we can't then on-sell that bed to a visitor for the resort.
A COVID-inspired real estate boom in the regions has made the problem worse, with rental properties converted to holiday homes or short-stay accommodation.
It's a really complex challenge, and it's not just us in the resorts. All regional towns are feeling it. It's pretty much across the board.
We have employers struggling to fill roles, not because there aren't people willing to work, but because those people can't find somewhere to live.
The Australian Housing and Urban Research Institute's Michael Fotheringham says public housing used to put a roof over the heads of key workers across the nation.
These days are focused on lowest end of the market for those most vulnerable, lowest income, real disadvantage and disability.
Back at the beach, Duncan Thompson had only just finished building this hotel when it became clear he'd need to start building again.
You can just clearly see the demand down here, and it's not just us, it's the whole area, any kind of service business down in the peninsula. And we realised quite quickly that we needed to invest quite heavily into staff accommodation.
Soon, there'll be almost 80 rooms available at this refurbished aged care home, entirely paid for or subsidised by businesses.
People don't want to wait 45 minutes for a coffee over summer. Seeing restaurants have to close their doors so their staff can take a break in peak season, it's heartbreaking.
Australia's housing crunch is particularly pronounced in popular tourist areas. The question of how to house essential and low-paid workers is an issue from the sea to the summit. There are no easy answers, but there are people working on innovative solutions to the problem. This airport near Mount Hotham has been bought by the Grollo family, once famous for skyscrapers, and will soon house staff.
We've been talking to them about what that looks like and creating a staff village essentially down there and a community, which is really going to be a game changer for us in the resort.
They're asking for feedback on what types of accommodation should be there, whether it be for singles, families, because we are getting some older people that don't want to have, 4 to 6 people in a room.
Accommodation operators are also linking up landlords and local businesses to take over tired houses.
If we feel that the properties aren't up to scratch anymore and need a big refurb to sort of meet the market standards, the best opportunity that we can give to the owner is to connect them straight with somebody who will pay the rent every week and make it really easy for them, and it's worked really well.
The challenge of finding a home in places that everyone wants to be.